Okay. Okay, so last time when we stopped the class, okay. So last time when we stopped the class in Shloka 32. Dehanyatvan name janma jara karshalayadayah shabdadi vishayai sangah nirindriyataya nacha. So what we are going to see now, see we said neti. There is one methodology by which we can try to understand what it is. In this shloka, the first point that is being established is that I am not the stula sharira. That is the shloka. This shloka is saying, I am not the stula sharira. Moment you say I am not the stula, that is the 32nd shloka. Moment you say I am not the deha, that means dehasya shat vikaraha santi. There are 6 vikaras for the deha. Asti, jayate, vardate, parinamate, sirshyate, nashyati. So those I am devoid of all of them. Because I am not physical anymore. Since I am not physical, all modifications, all vikaras that happen for any physical entity is not going to happen to me. Therefore, any changes that you see, you should immediately recognize that is not Brahman, Neti. All changing things cannot be Brahman. Right? That's why he says, na jayate mriyate va kadachit. So, that's what he says. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. That's how the shloka ends, na? In chapter 2. So, na jayate mriyate va kadachit. So, this Atman neither takes a birth, nor it dies. That's why in another shloka immediately he says, Jatasya vo hi dhruvo mrityuho. Mrityu janma. Mritasya cha. If something ends, it will start. Something start, it will end. In another shloka, immediately in another shloka, chapter 2 in Gita, he is saying that. That's why he says, Na jayate mriyate va kadachite. Na bhuyaha na bhavishyah. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So in shloka 32, what Acharya is saying is, I am not the Deha. Since I am not the Deha, to pull out all Deha related attributes and put it out. So anything that you see with respect to Deha related attributes, don't attach with that. And call yourself I, because you are the Atman. So this cannot be Atman. That is what he did in 32nd shloka. This is Stula Sharira. Now we'll see 33rd shloka. Amanastvanna me dukkha ragadvesha bhayadayah aprano hyamana shubhrah ityadi shruti sasanat. In the previous sloka, he said Adehatvat. Dehanyatvat, not Adehatvat, Dehanyatvat. Dehasya Anyatvat. So that is the Stula Sharira. Whereas here Acharya is saying Amanastvat. Amanastvat na me dukkha raga dvesha bayada. A single word. For the purpose of meter, I removed the dukkha and put a visarga there. It's a single samastapada. Na me dukkha raga dvesha bayadayah. Right? Aprano hi amanaha shubbraha ityadi. Ityadi means not all attributes have been listed here. There are only 2, 3. That's why Adi Shabda is coming, etc., etc. Right? Ityadi Shruti Shasanat. So now Acharya says, dismiss the Stula Sharira is said in 32nd shloka. In 33rd shloka, dismiss the Sukshma Sharira also. That is not Atma. So now what happens? This shrinking, becoming fat, getting old, falling, all that happens only for Stula Sharira. But what happens to Sukshma Sharira? Sukha, Dukkha, Raga, Dvesha, Mada, Masara, they are all happening in the Antakaranas. They are not happening outside in the body. See, if you take a blade, and don't try it, whatever I say, don't. You take a blade, draw a line. Take a blade and draw a line. Blood will come. Cut the skin, na? Blood will come. That blood coming, wound forming, they are all kayaka vyapara. But pain is a manasika vyapara. Sukha and dukkha are not here. Sukha and dukkha are here. It's not here. Please understand. Sukha and dukkha are part of the manasika vyapara, not kayika vyapara. Something happened in the body and something is happening elsewhere. That's why when you talk of Sukshma Sharira, our Raga Dvesha are all in the Sukshma Sharira, not in the outside, not in the body, not here. Nowhere there.
That carries that Sukshma Sharira gets carried to the next one.
Through the Karana Sharira. Sukshma Sharira is a gadget. To build the gadget, the master plan is available in the Prarabdha. Prarabdha carries the master plan for the building. And what has to happen in the building is carried by the Karana Sharira. This is only a gadget. Gadget is manufactured in the Prarabdha. Right? So he says, Amanatvat. Amanastvat. I don't have the real I does not have a manas. They are all upadhi. They are not part of the I. They are the upadhi which are attached. Right? So amanastvat name dukkha raga dvesha bayadayah. All these are for manana. That's why name it says we have to say 1,000 times. We have to utter this shloka 1,000 times a day. That is called mananam, na? You should say amanastvat name dukkha raga dvesha deha. I don't have raga, I don't have dvesha. All that. No, coming back to this example, when you tear it, what happens is kayika vyapara. What do you do about it is your choice. Pain, you have no choice. Because pain is a matter of biology and chemistry. Because they can explain why pain is happening. Some cells are disturbed. This happens, that happens. Something you can explain. Pain, but suffering is your choice. Suffering has nothing to do with science. It has to do with meta science. That is manasika vyapara. Whereas pain is a kayika vyapara, because that is a part of science. Now, if you cut something, some blood will come, some cells get disturbed, so some pain starts happening. Whether you should suffer or not is your choice. You have a free will to make that choice. And that's why people differ from one another. Some people get small problems in life and they think as though the whole world has schemed against them. It's all made up here. Some people go weather huge challenges, yet they say, oh, chalega, nothing happens. Prasanta Gambhira Manas. Oh, it's okay. What does it mean? That means the event is the same. The way you respond is different. The content is the same. The context changed. Content is the same. All of us have the same content. I also fell and then I got injured. You also fell and got injured. Then you sit down and say, oh, the whole world I have done. This is called Vilapana. That's why Titiksha definition is so good in Viveka Chudamani. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam chinta vilaparahitam sa titiksha ityuchyate. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam. Shankaracharya never said Sahanam sarva santoshanam. He said Sahanam sarva dukkhanam. You know why? Because this is a bad psychology we have. When very good things happen, say it is because of me, I put hard work. Give credit to no one in the world. When success happened, oh, hard work. 8 hours I studied. I did. When things fail, you say now the world comes. The whole world is blamed, including the God. I promised 11 coconuts to you. You are bad luck. Ganesha, you are bad luck. You also schemed against me. This is the average human psychology. When success happens, I am there. Nobody else is there. When failure happens, everybody is responsible. What nonsense is this? How can you be so selective in your understanding of life? It's all here. So, people think as though the whole world has schemed. Nothing, everything is only happening here. Nothing happened. As per Prarabdha, things are happening. Whatever has happened, it is happening. Today, money you have to eat idli means it will be idli only. You will not get sabudana, kachdi or whatever. It will be idli only. Well, that is what it is. That's the collective Prarabdha for us. Or you have Prarabdha is to have idli without sambar, you have to have idli without sambar. Like that. I'm just giving an example. Don't take it serious. So that's okay. So hot water like that. So what I'm saying, so many things will happen. So, that's why it's called Jagat. It will keep on moving. Events keep on moving. That's why this is called Jagat. It is all in motion, constant motion. That's why it's called Jagat. That's the meaning of the word Jagat. So many things will happen. Why are you jumping up and down? Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam. Without looking for a support and a counter thing and all that. Chinta vilapa rahitam. See, moment something bad happens, vilapana. Ayo, why did it happen? All these are manasika vyapara. So that is what he is saying here. He is saying, amanastvar name dukkha raga dvesha bhayadaya raga dvesha bhaya moha asarya. None of them are there. They all belong to that Sukshma Sharira. We don't need even Vedanta. Even in this stage, we can say all that belonging to that, not belonging to, in Panchadashi, there are some beautiful examples. Vidyaranya Swami has given some good examples. One example I will tell. There are two families. Two families, they send their children for Adhyayana in Kashi. Those days, you have to, a long way. Moreover, when people go Kashi, they wave the hand. Because we don't know whether they come back. Sometimes they come, all that happens. Now, anyway, so two families have gone to send their children for Adhyayana in Kashi. It so happened one boy died. Of the two, one boy had some disease, something we don't know. Let's say call them as A and B for the purpose of it's easy to carry forward this discussion. A and B went to Kashi. B died. Identical, they went to the Gurukula. Good, both of them are good. It so happened B died. Now the news came back somehow back to the village. And to the A's family said, your son is dead. And to the B's family, they said, your son is alive. Actually, it was ulta. But it was told wrongly. Person who died was B. But then they told the A's family, your son has died. I'm not telling the shloka, I'm telling the meaning of the shloka through this episode. Now what happened was, the A's family became very gloomy. Obviously, no? They became very gloomy, they were very upset. Whereas the B's family was actually very elaborately celebrating, enjoying that the son is actually, the reality was the other way. So, reality could be one, but what you finally do is a matter of how your mind processed an information. Everything is here only, and later it so happened that they got to know that's a different story. But what I am saying is, everything is manasika vyapara. So Bhaya, Raga, Dosha are all happening in the mind only. And now in this sloka, Acharya is saying, I am not the mind, I am not the Antakarana. Since I am not the Antakarana, the real I cannot be sad. That's why when I say I am sad, it is Adhyasa. It is an Adhyasa. You are putting the sadness onto I. I has no sadness. You are throwing the sadness which is on this side into I. And then very casually we say, I'm feeling very upset. We are very casually using all that. We have to do a very fine cut of this meaning of these statements and the construction of all these. So these shlokas are helping us for that. So he says, I am apranaha. Second line, what it says, apranaha, he amanaha. I don't have manas, I don't have prana. Okay, shubbraha, I am pure. Ityadi. How do you know all that? How do you say all that? Shruti Shasanat. These are told by the Shruti. For us, Shruti is Parama Pramana. Because things which we cannot understand, we always listen to somebody, no? That's why I said, don't go to a cardiologist and then try to waste your time knowing, explain to him, no, I know my heart. Then he or she will say goodbye and go. And better you reach home safely. When we don't know something, we have to listen to somebody. That is the most practical way to live. Life becomes very challenged otherwise, I am telling you. See, one person went to a village. It was a huge lake. Two boys went to the lake, went to the village, and there was this nice lake. So his fellow said, let's jump and do some swimming. One villager, the local villager, they don't do it. There are a lot of marketas, there are big crocodiles in this lake. Better listen. It is absolute foolish to say, I know what to do and jump, and then that's the last jump, actually. So when this jnana is something which is not easily available, not readily available, not directly available. So the best thing is to take guidance from something which is much bigger, much larger, much credible. That is Shruti. That's why it says, Aham apranaha, amanaha, shubraha ityadi, Shruti shasanat. How do I know that? Because that is what Shruti is proclaiming. And that is our Parama Pramana. And because of that, I therefore come to a conclusion, because body we can easily argue. That's why I gave examples, no? He was also giving another example, you know. Sundar was also giving another example of how to say, you know, you are not the body. That you don't even have to go up to Shruti. With some yukta, you can find out that. But this is a little difficult. The subtle body is very difficult to make that experiment and come to a conclusion. A little more subtle. That's why Shruti Shasanat. When we in doubt, when we are unable to comprehend it well, listen to some competent person. That should be right, because that is it's called Shabda Pramana. In Nyaya, that's why one of the Pramana is called Shabda. Right? Yukta Vakya is called Shabda. It's called Shabda Pramana. So Shruti Shasanat. Because the Shruti has said that you are Amanaha, Apranaha, Shubraha, therefore I immediately are able to come to a conclusion that these Raga, Dvesha, Bhaya, etc. are all not for the real I. They are all on the other side. I seem to be doing adhyasa of that into it, by saying I am angry, I am hungry is also like that. Hunger is not for the Atman. How do you know it? There are people who are able to manage hunger, no? It itself shows that hunger is not belongs to the person, it belongs to only some upadhis. Because there are people who are able to not eat very little. Nirjala, our friend is here, Nirjala once in 15 days. All those are very much possible.
I overeat that is also example. I overeat that example also.
The other side.
So on average, where
Because Shubha is also with respect to your pure.
Yeah.
So then Amandana.
Yeah. So what does it mean? It means the impurities are all coming through that. How is your impurities coming? The impurities are coming through the Antakarana. Since the Antakarana is not there, you will become pure now. It is not getting colored, na? That's why Shubhraha. Nityadi. Anyway, it is just added here, but the point is, that the impurities are coming only because of your manasika vyapara. If the manasika vyapara is not there, you will become pure. The spatika will remain, all the flowers will go. Nirupadi. The spatika will remain spatika. So to indicate that, it says, yeah.
Question was like manasik, when mind is involved, that's when we have this dualities of pure and impure.
Yeah, yeah.
Mind is not involved, then there's no question of not mind. It is.
That is what he's saying. That's why he's saying Shubhraha. That's why he's saying Shubhraha.
Yourself is okay. But reality hasn't been. But he doesn't forget himself.
The Adhyasa.
But I mean, because there is no manas, actually it doesn't, you are not the mind, that's what it's trying to say. You're not the prana also. And you are that Shubhra. That's what it's saying.
So since you don't have the manas is all part of the Upadi. You don't have the pranas, that's also part of the Upadi. Therefore, I ought to be pure. The possibilities of impurities are not there. That's why I am Shubhraha.
Whatever remains. The Shubhra is more of a what we can understand. That is the way.
Maybe in terms of understanding. Because I always thought to that Anirvachaniyam, so when it says Shubhra, it is.
No, Shruti Shasanat is such Shruti Shasanat, no? You know where is it coming? In Mundaka Upanishad it is coming. There is a mantra. There is a mantra. I'll have to really check. Nothing I've been able to tell you by heart. I've been doing so many things in between. I'm also doing this. It says Aprana hi amanaha Shubhraha. These entire words are coming in chapter. I think it is the third kanda or somewhere it is coming in Mundaka Upanishad. So Shruti Pramana. Shruti has proclaimed that we don't have prana and we don't have manas and okay. And in fact, the next mantra also, I think it says Tasma Jayate Pranaha. So prana, manas are all coming out of it. It is actually in the second Manas Sarvendriyani Prithvi Vishwasya Dharini. There is one mantra. Then the 7 flames. There is another mantra will come after that. It is in the second mandaka. Now I am able to understand. So all these are part of that Shruti. Therefore, we take it as the most credible evidence for us.
It's just like Nirmala, receiving.
All that will come. All those are going to come. Nirakara, Nirvikara, Nirmala, everything is going to come. These are all the Swarupa Lakshanas of Atman, right? So initially, it was only Atman. Then Prana came. From where it came, we still don't know. Karana Sharira brought it, and then it is like plugging the connection and then putting the plug. Then the energy starts flowing. Something like that, right? So why can't we say Sapranaha? Actually, only because when Prana came, no? Why are you saying Apranaha? That is a question. No, the argument for that is, you understand what I am saying. See, Prana was not there, but the Atman is there. So you brought all these Karana Sharira, Linga Sharira and all that, then because of the Atman only Prana came. So the Atman is actually responsible for Prana in some ways. Then why are you saying Apranaha? Why don't you say him Sapranaha? Pranena Saha? This kind of a question will come. So the Samadhana for that, which you see in the scriptures, right, is let's say there is a person without a son. Okay? He gets a son. Okay? After some time he gets a son. So after he gets a son, but that doesn't mean he is the son. That doesn't the son is part of him. The son, he gets a son, so therefore we say, oh, he has a son. So in the same way, all came, prana came, so now he is with the prana. That has nothing to do with whether he is the prana, he is not the prana. Just as you get a son, and so with all that everything came, so that's one way to understand. There are different ways we have to really make sense. Otherwise, we will get stuck. We don't know. Because of that only, prana. I think Padmamada has such an argument, I think. Otherwise, why did it come to me? Let me just check. So, he said, Katam Indriya Prana Manasam abhavastasya. Okay, print is all very bad. How come indriyas, pranas and all those are tasya abhavaha? That doubt will always come. Ataha shutihi aprano hi amnasho shubro iti aksharat parataraha paraha etasma jayate prana. All these are in Mudakopanishad. So we rely on the Mudakopanishad, which actually gave us that kind of an understanding. Manas, so it says, that is a mantra actually. Aprano hyamanas shubro yaksharat paratah paraha. That is that mantra actually. Okay. Etasma jayate pranaha manas sarvendriyani cha kamva yujyotirapaha prithvi vishwasya dharini. This is a mantra in Mudakopanishad. So because Shruti has proclaimed it, that's a very credible evidence for us. Therefore, we should not get confused like this. We should know, no. Son is there, the father is there. Just because, after the father came, the son came, it doesn't mean father has the son. I mean, it is there. Like that, we have to make sense of these kinds of things, is what is being discussed.
We cannot, it's also asking, we cannot, in the limited Jiva Buddhi, we can't identify this, so we take Shabda as a Pramana.
Absolutely. That's what I said. What we cannot understand by normal means, it makes eminent sense to listen to an expert, no? That's what, KPMG is called, they're giving a 7 digits and they give a PPT with 7 slides for a 7-digit fee. KPMG and all these. You go to an expert. The expert, whatever he says, you better listen. That is the point. You can't. So, Shruti Shasanat. Right?
Prana, Amana, both are out of this.
Yeah. Then 34th shloka. Nirguno nishkriyo nityaha. Nirvikalpo niranjanaha. Nirvikaro nirakaraha. Nitya muktosmi nirmalaha. See, look at all these 3 shlokas. There is Uttama Purusha, first person. Asmi. It is no longer saying Asti. It is saying Asmi. The previous shloka it said Name. These are all Uttama Purusha, first person. It is not pointing to something. You are telling. That means Mananam. These are shlokas for Mananam. I have to repeat it. I am not this, I am not that. Body is not mine. That's why it is in first person. Look at these 3 shlokas, they are in first person. Not in second person or third person. It is not, oh, that is Nirvikara. You are not pointing to something. You are saying it. That is the language here. You just see. And what does it mean? That means these are shlokas for Mananam. I have to say it. You don't have to, I don't say it to you. I have to say it to myself. It is as though I am reeling it out. I am telling aloud. I am not this, I am not that. The body is not mine. Therefore, I am not subjected to all the vikaras of the body. I am not the Sukshma Sharira. Therefore, I am not subject to Raga and Dvesha. Now he is saying, I am Nirvikara, Nirahankara, Nirmala, etc., etc. These are all in Uttama Purusha. First person. By that, we are able to understand these are all Manana Sambandhina Vishayaha. These are all for deep contemplation. Reflect on this again and again for ourselves. That's why it is in first person. Yeah. So it says all the lakshanas are here. It says Nirgunaha. That's why in Lalita Sasma we say Gunatita, Gunavarjita, Gunatita. All these namas are there, right? Nirgunaha. Nishkriyaha. I have no agency for action. I am only a witness. I may have the potential. See, people may have the potential, but they may not, they don't have to act. Acting is different from having potential. I may have immense potential. And persons who have immense potential and not acting are actually Mahayogis. Because, it's a natural tendency for you to, if you have know something, you start blabbering. You start doing something. Atman says, I have immense potential, I am just keeping quiet. And that is a very hard thing to do. That is the gold standard we have to reach. That is really the gold standard for us to reach. Okay? Nishkriya. There is no kriya. Because I don't have the urge also. Because I don't have sukha and dukkha, I don't have icha and dvesha, I don't have desires. They are all not in my faculty, they are all in some other domain. They are not here, so therefore I don't have to. Nishkriyaha, nityaha. It is only summarizing some of the lakshanas again in one place. Nityaha, I am ever present. Body will go. Sukshma Sharira may go. Karana Sharira may go. I don't go. I unmanifest. Then I become manifest. Vyakta Madhyani. Right? Or Nidanan Yevas. In the 8th chapter there is one mantra. No, in the 8th chapter there is one number, because the 8th chapter is about Akshara Brahma Yoga. So it all talks about death, Nidanam. So it talks about that. You can see there is one mantra, one shloka like that. So Nitya, I am ever present. You may not see. Just because you are not seeing doesn't mean I am not present. If you don't see me and say, therefore I am not there, that means you are using only Pratyaksha Pramana, no other Pramana. Suppose I went to, Bangalore and you are in Chennai, and you did not know that I have gone to Bangalore. You cannot come to a conclusion, Mahadevan is no more. How can you come to a conclusion? Because that means you are only using a Pratyaksha Pramana. No other Pramana you are using. You should use an Anumana. Oh, his items are there, his bank account is there, his mobile SIM is ringing. You have to use Anumana Pramana. So this fellow is there somewhere. So you can't say, you can't see me, therefore I am not there, you cannot say. So I am Nitya. I may not be existing in a particular form that you have. That's what it is. You see, one of my family member, I remember this whenever I talk this. We lost one of our family member at the age of 40. He battled cancer for 7-8 days actually. Finally, 7-8 years, 7-8 years. And finally, of course, we lost him in the sense. So, 2 young children. He had 2 children. So I went for the 13th day. I couldn't go. I really liked them and so on. I could not go immediately. They were in Bombay. I was in Bangalore. I went on the 13th day. I didn't know what to tell to these 2 children. One was in 7th standard or something. Other boy, Elron was the boy, I think. So Elron is the boy. He has just completed his 12th standard or something. He is going to go to. What can you tell here? You can't talk Vedanta to children. Father is gone. I really was actually without expression. Really. Because, I went to their house. Parents were there, his parents were there. But his parents are little elders, you can tell a little Vedanta, something you can sort of. I didn't know what to tell to these 2 children. Yeah, they could be mama and all that they were telling. I was really sort of. So from nowhere, I just said some sentence. I don't know whether it made sense to them or not. I told them, don't think your father is no more. He is not only in this physical form. All the things that your father used to like very much, whenever you see there is something like that, I told them. I didn't know what to say. They were asking me. So, physical body may not be, but I don't know whether they understand youngsters, young children. I didn't know what to say. So said like this. That's all I knew. I didn't know what to say. Because anything else was nowhere near. I was just without a vocabulary. Kids, they used to like me and come and talk to me and all that stuff. I said, no, don't worry. Your father is very much around. Not in the physical form. Don't worry. Whenever you see good things that are happening, which your father very much like, see your father there. He is actually there like that. Something I told. But that is the truth. Whether a child can understand it is a different question. So it is Nityatva. Shape, the manifestation may go. That doesn't mean vastu nashtam na bhut. Vastu kadapi na nashtam bhavati. Vastu sarvatra sada bhavatyeva. Ekasmin swarupena bhavet. It may not appear in the form which we are used to, which we have been seeing. Like that.
So we understand this Atma about that. For the loka vyavahara, should we have an identification with our?
Yeah, so please understand. So I will explain with a simple thing. Very much required. That we should know how to ride two horses. That is the evolution of the spiritual thinking and self-evolution. See, Advaita. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat. Everything is Brahman only, everything is God, all are same. So one Acharya, so the story will explain that. One Acharya was teaching Advaita. A Sishya, bright Sishya. Wonderful. He talks about how it is all world is only one, everything is same, all that. They were sitting and then doing this is going on. One day, it's in the forest. One day, one yane, elephant, inebriated state, it is coming running. So that Mahout was running ahead of the elephant. He said, go away, this elephant is in great inebriated state. The Guru climbed the tree. Immediately he climbed the tree. Sishya, Advaita, all are same. He is sitting. Because Guru he has understood very well. So he was in dhyana, he is saying, oh, elephant is also God, I am also God. This elephant came and then took him and then just threw him. The trunk, it took the boy and then just slashed it. Fortunately, this boy did not die. Some injury maybe. After the elephant went slowly, the Guru came down. So this Sishya asked, hey Guru, you taught so much of Advaita. Huh? You said everything is God only. I saw God in elephant. What happened to you? The Guru said, I saw God in Mahout. You saw God in elephant, I saw God in the Mahout.
So this example is given by Ramakrishna.
So, extending this story, what we have to understand, so I'll go one step further now. Now I can't go back and say, I have got a Agmark Advaita knowledge, 100% pure. So I go and tell my wife, everything is same. Instead of 1 kilogram of rice, cook 1 kilogram of stone. We'll have breakfast. Stone and rice are same, na? Advaita. Everything is same. Don't use rice, use stone. You can't say that. In other words, what you should understand is there is something called Vyavaharika, there is something called Paramarthika. So, as long as we are in the domain of Vyavaharika, in the transactional world, in fact, the very idea that we are doing Vyapara and Vyavahara means we have recognized duality. Without duality, Vyavahara is not possible. Therefore, both the thinkings are the only difference that one can make is if you have the Paramarthika Drishti, with that, the way you conduct Vyavahara will be very qualitatively different. That's why I say Muni never runs away. A realized soul does not say world is all one, that is all, never. But he sees the mirage the second time, he knows what to do with that, he will continue.
Practical purposes.
Yeah, we have to be Mate Sangastva Karmani. So the question we are asking is, how do you deal with the world? While I am also having a Paramarthika Drishti, and that is the real realized journey towards the realized soul. You have to handle both. But you can handle it differently. Raga and Dosha will go. When you handle with the Paramarthika Drishti and Jnana, when you are into Vyavahara, lot of Raga and Dosha will go. Okay, that oneness expresses that way there. Work will happen. You will not worry about all this. So don't take stone and cook breakfast. She will even say, I don't have to cook. Why? Atman has no body, no nothing, no hunger, no thirst. I have to go home. Huh? After a week, I have to go home. I'm worried now. That's what I'm saying. I'm worried.
Or better you start speaking slowly.
Sir, she is going to say, I will not even recognize you. She will go one step further and say, I will not even recognize you. You are Advaita. So we need to, Be very nuanced of that understanding. That's where the whole idea of karma yoga comes. How do you handle the world is the biggest evolution for an individual. Not running away from world, citing X, Y, and Z. How do you handle it? And yet evolve. Let challenges come and go. You handle it, but you evolve also. That is the real journey. That's where this knowledge will help us. And a time will come, that's why in 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, first 3-4 slokas, if you see, if you properly understand these 3-4 slokas in chapter 5, you will very clearly understand you cannot take sannyasa. Sannyasa must take you. There is a difference between the two. You are taking sannyasa means there is no paripaka. And such people become the biggest political figure in an ashram. Because if their mind is still not, they will go and vitiate the whole atmosphere. Completely spoil because they took sannyasa. Sannyasa must take. You can't leave karma. Karma must leave you. Please understand. Fancy. People think fancy. I will leave karma. You should not leave karma. Karma must leave you. Meaning, till take the pala from you and then you will keep doing without even knowing what you are doing. So it all the reverse. It's like that. Okay. So it says nirgunaha, gunatitaha. The sway of the gunas are not going to affect me. That is the last 4 slokas in chapter 14 of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna asked, how will this person who is a gunatita? That's a question he asked. Kair lingaihi. What are the lingas? What are the signs of a person? Of a person who is... so there is a beautifully 2 slokas there. Samadukka sukha swastaha samaloshtaashma kanchanaha. Manapamaneos tulya tulya mitrara pakshayo sarvaramba parityagi gunatitaha sauchyate. He gives very nice examples of how will he deal with the world. Na mitra aripaksha. In fact, I found every one of them have great implication for management. What happens is I have my own experience. Every one of us have our experience. You go into the conference room to discuss. There is some shortage. It's a problem of production or purchase or planning. We do not know. Fact is, there is a shortage. The factory is going to come to a grinding halt now. So there is an emergency meeting. All the 3 sit. And this whole game is to see how to pass the hot potato, who is going to hold it finally. That is what all these meetings are anyway. But then what happens is, Tulya Mitra Haripakshayoho is what Krishna says. You know what happens in those statements? You make a statement. You know how I understand the statement? The way I understand the statement is, first I find out you belong to my camp or opposite camp. The entire hermeneutics is like this. The Vakya Shastra is different there. Mitra Paksha or Haripaksha. If you are part of the Haripaksha, I understand the sentence differently. If you become, Krishna says, Gunatita will cross that divide. Tulya Mitra Haripakshayoho. Tulya Ninda Atma Samstuti. This is another problem I see in all management. They go and tell the manager, his boss, you are Indra and Chandra. If you say Indra and Chandra, this person finished. These are all mousetraps for managers. Managers walk into the mousetrap. Or, if you go and tell the manager, sir, this is not the way to do. A lot of them get very offended here. You are not able, so a Gunatita will be able to handle both. Tulya, Ninda, Atma Samstuti. Suppose if you have no basis by which you will listen to what I say, that capability at all you don't have, then you will pay through your nose, because all the problems people working know the solution, nobody will tell, because you are not going to listen. You have to get a consultant. What does a consultant do? He borrows a watch from you, looks at the time and tells you it is 11:30 and takes a charge for it. See, I have done consulting. What do I know about companies? And I go and first ask them, what are you doing? I spent 100 hours with them. Heftily I charge. I learn from them what is the problem, what is the solution. I write and give it to them. This is what will happen. So, Ninda Atma Samstuti. So, a Gunatita will actually transcend all these dualities in life. That is Nirguna. That is the thing we have to understand. So Nirgunaha, Nishkriyaha, Nityaha, Nirvikalpaha. There are no vikalpas. There are no, there are no, it's a thoughtlessness state. There is no faculty for thinking also. It is all on the other side. So the Atman is Nirvikalpa. Sankalpa, Vikalpa and all those are not, that is part of the Manas. Manas does not belong here. So Vikalpa cannot be possible. Nirvikalpa, basically you will rub off everything and that's the end of the story. Nirvikalpa, Niranjana, there is no Anjana, no stain, stainless steel, ekdam, shining. Niranjana, Nirvikara, there are no vikaras. There is no, growth, deterioration, janma, jara, changes, nothing is there. Because they are happening for Stula Sharira. I am not part of Stula Sharira, it's a different department altogether. So Nirvikara, Nirakara, I don't have a form also. There is no form or shape, there is no physicality. So Nirakaraha, if you do all that, Nitya Muktaha, liberated. Unconditioned. That's why Upadhi is called conditional. You bring the Deha, you bring the Sukshma Sharira, you bring the Karana Sharira, added constraints to this Atma. As though you constrained it. If you remove all of them, it becomes free. Demolish all the walls, it becomes open space. Put all these and say seminar room, kitchen, dining, etc., etc. If you remove all the upadhis, you will become Nitya Mukta Subhava. There are half a dozen along with that. He's just stopping here. You say Nitya Muktosmi. Nirmalaha. There's no mala. It's all clean, stainless steel. Absolutely stainless. No shape, no thought, no problems, no dirt, neither growth nor deterioration. Therefore, it is Nitya. That is the Vastu we are. We are not even able to imagine that. We are far away from that. We are light years away from that. But Shruti is again and again saying that is what you are. That is why even after selling 1,000 times, we are not listening to it. Because the avarana is so thick. The bandage cloth is running to kilometers. Slowly, you have to peel the bandage cloth for the sun to shine, which is already there. So that is what is the Lakshana. You have to, these are all for Manana. I am not this, I am not, I am this, I am this, I am not this, I am this, I am this. That. Okay, Shloka 35.
Huh? Sorry, this is specifically the Karana Sharira. The previous one is with the Sukshma Sharira, and this is saying I am not the Karana Sharira.
No, Karana Sharira is not explicitly coming. You can say that. Sukshma and Stula are clearly identifiable. Therefore, we just move on. Aham Akashavat Sarvam Bahirantargatochyutah Sada Sarvasamashuddhah Nisango Nirmalochalah. See, again you see Uttama Purusha Prayoga. Aham, I. So we are contemplating. Not somebody is telling to somebody else. This is our own aham. So each one of us have to say that. Aham Akashavat Sarvam. Aham Akashavat Sarvam. Bahihi Antargataha. Achyutaha. Okay. Sada Sarva Samaha. Shuddhaha. Nisangaha. Nirmalaha. Achalaha. Shuddhaha. In the book, what it says? We had changed. There was one error somewhere. I didn't know where it was. That is the one. Correct it. I think it was a typo. Shuddhaha.
Okay.
No, in my PPT, that is coming out of my PPT. The book is coming out of my PPT, no? That book. Shuddha, please correct it. I was looking where there was only error. I didn't know where it was. Shuddha. I corrected after that. Here I corrected.
No.
There was a typo actually. I realized it later. Shuddha. So, aham akashavat sarvam. See, this akasha is a description of sarva vyapitva. Akasha is everywhere, no? See, this word akasha is very interesting. Because there are a few attributes that akasha indicates. And what are those? The first attribute is akasha is all pervading. Sarvatra asti. You can't say there is no akasha here, there is akasha there. You can't say that. Even if you lock something, there is akasha inside. Na? So the first attribute is, that's why the word akasha is being used here. Akasha is all pervading. This is the one attribute. The second attribute is akasha is a single entity. There is no, akasha 1, akasha 2, akasha 3. You can create artificial spaces. That is artificial. But this padartha called akasha is a single entity. So by that we are indicating the Atman might have been divided in so many ways, in so many places. You tear it down, they all become one. That is what we have to infer out of it. That's why the word akasha is to be understood that way. Right? It's a single entity. The third attribute of akasha is it is shapeless. It is nirakara, no? Akasha is nirakara. Akasha is not square or round. It's not tall or short. Akasha is one vast expanse of space. That is called akasha. This akasha, if you look at modern astronomy, amazing here. They talk about Milky Ways, which are so many thousand light years away, and all these are the anda. Who created all that? To create one mobile phone, they put 200 engineers, pay them 6 digits, 7 digits. They work for 3 years and come with a mobile phone, which I am not very happy with. There are still errors. So many million man hours are going behind what man is creating. Who created this entire? They are saying there is something so many thousand light years away. There is one sun. I don't know who created all that. So when people say, I don't agree, I don't believe in God, I just laugh at them. By the sheer idiocy. Because if you have a very beautiful furniture or a very beautiful painting, there is a very beautiful painting here. What question will you ask? Will you ask, is there a painter or who is the painter? What question will you ask? Nobody will ask, is there a painter? Because without a painter, a painting will not come. That is a foolish question. We will only ask, where is the painter or who is the painter? If this world is so complex here, nobody wants to ask, is there somebody who created the world? We want to know who created the world. And that answer will lead us to God. So God is not there. I don't know from this idea is coming. Are you telling everything is just coming on their own? One day all of them will go. I mean, this is Maya, the biggest Mayajal you can imagine if somebody argues like that. And little I have read a little bit, heard from doctors and all that. I think the medical understanding of this is my own the smallest understanding of the medical phenomenon makes me deeply spiritual. So one doctor one day was telling me that this toe, curvature in the toe, if that slightly reduces, you will fall. Balance will go. That curvature it goes, you will fall. Who designed it here? And we are told the heart is made out of a small lump of flesh. It folds and folds and folds and 250 odd times. Finally, you get these valves and all that. That's why, 10% of the people have, but then who designed this in the first place? That's why I'm more interested in the question who. I don't want to take anything for granted. If you take anything for granted, you have taken life easy. Ask the question who, you'll go to God. Who created, who designed it in the first place and who is doing it? You just throw a seed and then big tree comes out of it. Who is doing it here? Then they say, automatic. What automatic? I don't understand this automatic business. Even for automatic, there is a switch or there is a program. There is somebody So digestion also, there is a Vaishwanara. You are not digesting anything. So some fluid in the ear, if it slightly gets disturbed, you get vertigo. What wonder is this body? Who designed it in the first place? And who manufacturing it? Who did the R&D? How much time did it take? Satapo tapyata. Satapastaptva idakam sarvam asrijeta. So that is how we are done. So this Akasha is formless, single entity, all pervading, shapeless, formless. All that you can do is at best we can create some small versions of space using upadhis. That is exactly what is happening for the Atman also. That's why the word Akasha Tattva is coming there. At best, what you can do with this vast space is you can create with upadhi. These are all the upadhis, conditioning entities. A little bit of upadhi, you can create some small little structures here and there and say, call it with some name, Chikitsala, Patashala, Prayogashala, something you say, Pustakashala, whatever. It's all you can do, but it is single. The same way, you take the vast expanse of Brahman, Atman, bring Upadhi Dharma and create some small little things. That's all you can do at best. So all those we must remember. Then there is another very nice property about Akasha also we should remember because that word is coming here. Akasha does not touch anything. It doesn't touch anything. I don't know whether you can, there is nothing like Akasha is touching anything. It is aloof. So the Atman is also aloof. It doesn't touch anything. So all these we can infer from the word Akash.
Not acid.
Yeah. Nopalipyate. Nothing happens to you. In fact, all these are available in Gita anyway. I can keep on quoting only Gita shlokas. So Gita is a great text. Properly understanding, following Gita will make us every concept is. I am not quoting, I am quoting off and on. Entire thing is available in Gita. Whatever you want is available in Gita. So he says, Aham Akashat Tat Sarvam. So contemplate on all these attributes of Akasha and say, I am that. It's a Manana Shloka. Aham Akashavat Sarvam. Bahihi Antargataha. Akasha pervades everything. It is also in the Hridaya Kuhare. Chetak Kuhare. Panchamukosti, I said yesterday. It is also in that cavity of your space. The yoga you are saying, feel it. Experience it, feel it. Chandrakbhai was saying that for us. Antar bahishchata sarom vyapyanara yanastitah. The Narayana Suttam, it is there, no? Antar bahishchata sarvam vyapyanara yanastitah. That is what it is. Antar bahirgatah achyutah. Right? You cannot defeat it, change it, or do it anything. Sada sarva samaha. Akasha is equal to everything. There is nothing like, you are very power centered, so your part of Akasha is a little different. Somebody has no big connections, so therefore Akasha can be dull there, nothing like that. Sarva samaha, shuddha, nisangaha. It doesn't touch anything. So I think many of these properties are applicable to Akasha, it is also applicable to Atman. That's why that word is coming. Aham Akashavat. What is this Akashavat? All these properties. That's how this shloka can be. We can do a mananam of this shloka like this. Aham Akashavat Sarvam Bahirantargataha Achyutaha Sada Sarva Samaha Shuddhaha Nisangaha Nirmalaha Achalaha. You don't take the space and then put it somewhere. There's nothing like that. It is a sarvavyapi. There is no shala. Apuryamanam achala pratishtam. Achala, moment you say, that shloka will come. Apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudra-mapaha pravishanti yadvat. Akamakami also will do the same thing. Tadvat. That's what Krishna says. The pinnacle of that question he asked. What is Stita Prajnasya ka bhasha? Give answer for that. There is 18 shlokas, 54th shloka to 72nd shloka in chapter 2. This is the 70th sloka. Apuryamana machala pratishtam samudramapaha pravishan. You have to reach that state of unshakable state. That is Gambhiratva. Gambhirya. That unshakable state is Gambhiryam. That's why Samudramiva Gambhiram in Valmiki Ramayana uses the word Samudramiva Gambhiram. Lanka, when it was Samudramiva Gambhiram. For a best example for Gambhira is Samudra. It looks so majestic here. It doesn't shake. Vast expanse of water. The end, towards the shore, it is like that. You go 100 meters in. It's all Gambhirya. That is what it is. That is what is the Manana of Atman, which is. So these 4-5 shlokas are Manana shlokas. It is talking about the Swarupa Lakshanam, which we have to reflect on. So that is what is happening.
What I am.
Huh?
Maybe sloka.
So the Neti Neti were the first 2 shlokas. Then after you say that this I am not the body, I am not the thing, do a manana of that. That is the Shravana, this is the manana. That is merely a knowledge. You repeatedly contemplate on it. So Acharya is cajoling us to do it by putting the Uttama Purusha Prayoga here. So the manana is implicitly buried here. First 2 slokas he dismissed. Then he immediately went to Uttama Purusha Prayoga. By that he is implying, you tell it yourself here. Do manana. That's what is coming here. 36th sloka. Nitya Shuddha Vimuktaikam Akhandanandam Advayam Satyam Jnanamanantam Yat Param Brahma Hameva Tat. Finally, the cat is released out of the bag. That Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma has finally come. That is a Swarupa Lakshana. The Swarupa Lakshana has finally been concluded as the last Manana Shloka. The series are Manana Shlokas, last 4-5 shlokas that you see. They are all shlokas for Manana. So what it is saying? Nitya Shuddha Vibhukta Ekaikam Akhandanandam Advayam. All of them are into a Samasta Pada, a single word. In Samasa, you put everything. Right? Nitya, Nityascha, all these are Dvandva Samasa actually. Then Bahupada Samasa. Nityascha Shuddhascha Nitya Shuddha. Making Samasa is very easy. Sanskrit, Samasa is very easy. If you know it, then you can know how to, you know how Samasa has to be made. You bring all the Padas. Nitya is one Pada. Shuddha is another Pada. So you have a set of 10 Padas. Then you have to do what is called recursive relationship. You know what you should do? You have to remove all the cases. Prathama Vibhakti. So you have to get the Pradipadika, which is a noun root. Samasa is only for a noun. You get a noun root. So Nitya is one noun root. Shuddha is another noun root. Shuddha can become Shuddha in Pullinga, Shuddham in Napumsakalinga, Shuddha in. So that means you have now added the termination to it and got a Padam. Whereas this is a Pratipadikam. That's a technical word. It is a root. So how do you make a Samasa? Take all Pratipadikas. Remove all the Pada. Pada has a termination. Right? Remove all that Prathama Bhakti, Dvitiya Bhakti, Bhagavachana, remove all of that. You get only that raw root. Keep it in a set. You keep on adding. In a recursive basis, you keep on adding. So you take Nitya and Shuddha, put them together. Now you get a new Paradipadikam called Nitya Shuddha. You can even stop there. The Samasa has only 2 words now. Right? That's why you know that one you said today morning, no, Dakshinamurti Stotra. It's 7 Padas are beautifully there. Nana Chitra Gadodara Sthita Deepa Maha Baswaram. Mahadeepa Prabha Baswaram. Nana Chitra is one Samasa. Aneka Chitra is Nana Chitra. Nana Chitra Gataha, Nana Chitra Gataha. So now I added one more Pada to it. Okay? Then
Stita.
Stita. Nana Chitra Gade Stita. That which is placed in a hole, in a pot which has chitra, several piers, several holes. Nana Chitra Gata Stita. Nana Chitra Gata Stite Deepaha. Mahanscha Aso Deepa. So there is one small little samasa that you have to do. Mahadeepa, will take Mahadeepa. So what are we saying? You take a pot which has so many holes, Nana Chidra. In that Gata Stitaha, placed Mahadeepaha, there is a lamp placed inside a pot which has so many holes. Nana Chitra Gadodhara Stita Mahadeepa Prabha. The flame coming out of that particular lamp, Bhaswaram. This is how one Samastapada. So like that, this is Samastapada here. Nitya Shuddha Vimukta Eka Akanda Akanda Ananda Nadvayam Advayam. So Akandanandam Advayam. So it says Nitya, it is ever present. Shuddha, Shubhra we said, Shuddha, Vimukta, it is liberated, it is not no Upadhi, there is no Upadhi. You cannot tie it, remove it. So it is all unshackled from all kinds of limitations that you can imagine. Right? Vimukta, Ekam Akandam, it is one. Akashavad, just now we said, Ekam Akandavad, Anandam Advayam. It's only one entity. You tear down all the upadhis in this room, it will all, when it happens, all the 20 of us sleep and all of us are in Sushupti, all of them merge into a single Brahman, because all of us have the same experience. Your experience is not different from my experience. Your experience of deep sleep and my experience of deep sleep are same. What is it? I was happy. Whole world has only one experience in deep sleep, and that is peaceful sleep, happy. I don't think anybody will come and say, I had a deep sleep, but I was in great grief and I was tired. That fellow is bluffing. Is it not? So in deep sleep, all the upadhis are torn down without our knowledge. Without our knowledge, all upadhis are destroyed. Temporarily, you pull out and merge everything into this Akanda Ananda. That is what Advaya. So that experience is there only in Sushupti, which we are not aware. We recollect it vaguely as a memory. Later, Pragaswapsa Samaye, Prabodha Samaye, Pratyabhignayate. Pratyabhignya comes later. Prag, Puram, Aswaptam, I slept. When do you say? Prabodha Samaye. After you got up, you said, I had a good sleep. What is the experience of the good sleep? You ask anybody in the world. What is your experience of a deep sleep? You ask, they cannot say anything than the same thing. That itself shows there is something common to all of us. Nobody can describe deep sleep in any other way. Whether you are an African or American, you are a boy or a girl, you are old or young, whether you are, poor or rich, all upadhis you throw, what remains will be the same. That is the Akandam Advayam, Akandanandam. Advayam, Satyam, that exists in all the three. So therefore it is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. That is the ultimate Jnanam. And that is Ananta. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam.
So Advaya here is like without duality or?
Yeah, there is no second Padartha. There is only one Padartha. Space is only one Padartha. You artificially created buildings. Space is only one Padartha. There is no second Padartha. That's why I said there is no second space. So one space is only one. You created artificially buildings, territories. You said Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, your own creation. Space is space. This is Akanda and Advaya. These separations we made. Maybe for Vyavahara, maybe for this and that. But we should know, we should use it for a limited purpose. There is another big purpose for us. It's all our own creation. In the mind, whichever ways.
Duality. Advaita means despite duality. So while I'm touching the wave, I'm touching the water okay. So it has so many waves are there, but they're all essentially water. So even if we don't create anything, whatever we are touching the same content, but we don't know.
Yeah, one padatha.
It's a single padartha. All between the upadhis will come and create some names and shapes. It's all one padartha only, finally. So, all those, so this is the last shloka in this so-called section which I created. And what is happening in this section? In this section, we started with a neti vada, but very quickly we said, let us get into some mananam. We reflect, I am this, I am this, I am this. Because of this reason, I am not this, but I am this. Because of this reason, I am this, I am not this. And finally, the Sampurna Swarupa Lakshanam is available in the 36th shloka. It sort of pulls out all these ideas and puts it into one place. So it's a concluding mananam kind of a thing. Nitya Shuddha Vimuktaikam Akandanandam Advayam Satyam Jnanam Anantam Yat Param Brahma Aham Eva Tat. Oh, I am that. Tattvamasi is pointing. Aham Brahmasmi is I am saying. It's a Mahavakya. Mahavakya is expressed finally in this shloka. It says, Brahma Aham Eva Tat. That is me only. Tat. That is Brahma only. What I thought all these are, they are all one only. I have found out finally. They are all one only, and that is Brahma. Aham Eva Brahma. So that may be a conceptual idea here. But with manana, with our vyavahara must undergo change and we should deeply experience it. We must deeply experience it. And that experience can happen slowly, slowly. Not that it is not happening. I'll give you an example. Just imagine, I'll give an example from what could have happened, See, in IAM, I was a dean for about 3 years. Way back in 2008 to 2011, I was the dean of administration. The way we are working is the dean will take care of the institute. Director will go out looking for something. That's the best way. To go out and find the best people, find the donors, whatever you want to do. The dean will run the show more or less. So that was a kind of a thing. Now, I'm just giving an hypothetical example. You think like that. How the Drishti Beda can make even change the way you take decisions. Suppose one day one worker came to me. See, we have a lot of contract workers. They are not part of our institute anyway. Whole government departments are like that now. Everybody is multi-skilled and all contract employees. And one contract employer, let's say, came to me. And she said, sir, my husband has a health problem. I need some medical support. We don't have medical support for the contract employees. It was very early in our using these contract employees, so there was no systems in place. So there are 2 ways you can handle it. If you don't have any Advaita Chintana at all in you, hey, go ahead. No, we don't have any systems like that. You can go. Sorry. Our rules does not allow us to give you any entitlement and so on. This is one method. There is also another method. If you start feeling a little bit of oneness, develop a little bit of compassion and all that, what you can do is, because there is a practical issue there. If that person is given a 10,000 rupee, 100 contract employees will come and then you will, that is their problem actually. Unless you formalize it, things will go out of hand. We don't know which is right, which is wrong. We don't know how to handle these kinds of problems happen in administration. So one way you could have just said, no, nothing. Easiest thing is say nothing, you go. The other thing that you can do is, no, we don't have any mechanisms at this moment in time. Just meet me today afternoon. Now I meet you not as a dean. I meet you as an individual now. I don't have to meet you as a dean. I can meet you as an individual also. Now what I can do, I can pull 10,000 rupees out of my packet and give it to you. Take this. As far as that Vyakti is concerned, she asked for 10,000 rupees, some medical help. Or you can put a system by which we have an informal mechanism by which you can pool some money for such purposes and then we can make use of it. So it all depends on what drishti we want to bring even in our vyavahara. So the vyavahara drishti can change. Who prevented us from doing this? You can easily dismiss citing rules, that means we are very much in the Dvaiti Bhava. I am different from you. So I will take care of myself. I can at best be little feel sorry for you, but then it ends there. There's nothing more. It ends there. Or if I develop that the world is one, all of them is one. So the axis of spirituality is interconnectedness. That is the axis of spirituality. The Aiki Bhava will come only through interconnectedness. You should feel for others. That's where the heart has to melt a little bit. That's what bhakti will bring also. It will slowly melt a little bit. The hard nut will become a little soft. So like that, if anything can be done, slowly, we travel on that journey. I don't know where we will go. I'm just giving a hypothetical example. I'm just saying, anything can happen like that. Drishti Gochara will change. Parimana will happen. That Aikatva will bring a quality of life very differently. The way you deal yourself, you deal with others, you deal with your self-compatriots, so many things can change. But the founder of Gunj, we both of us were in a panel discussion somewhere in Uttarakhand, several years back when he founded Gunj. Some Gupta, I don't remember his name now. So, both of us were sitting and we were just talking. The guys were just sitting, so, we just sitting, we just talk now. So he said, sir, we have a huge problem, sir. Enormous amount of material is given for Gunj. Enormous cost is involved in disposing because all of them are useless. Simply useless. Broken toys, torn cloth, woolen blanket which at best can be thrown. Why are people doing it? Because they don't have empathy. Why they don't have empathy? They don't have the IQ Bhava. So I asked my students in the class, because it happened when there was a huge flood in No, this is several years back in Raichur here. What is that? Mantralaya. There was at that time that Gunj person told me, sir, we have got a lot of material which are useless. So at that time I asked my students in my Bhagavad Gita class one day, I asked my students, there is an earthquake now. Everything is gone. Mahadevan's residence is gone. IAM is gone. House is gone. This is gone. Partition, you are talking about partition, no? Everything is gone. Everything is gone. Are you now telling me I am going to wear some torn shirts from tomorrow? My self-esteem does not allow me to do it. Are you telling me I am going to jump into a dustbin and take some food from there and eat? I will rather die honorably of hunger. Don't you think like that? So when somebody is in distress, you put yourself there first and ask, what will you do? There's no food, you'll jump into like the dogs, they jump into the dustbin, some thrown food. Do you take that thrown food and eat? I ask my students. No, sir, you won't. Remember that when you give. You'll never give a torn shirt. You'll never give a broken toy. You'll never give something which you will not use. That empathy will come because of this. This Sarupa, if we imbibe a little bit, we'll become a lot more compassionate. There will be a lot of empathy that we will develop. That is what we need. That is the real progress of an individual. That is the self-evolution. All these will come automatically after that. So the Vyavahara will beautifully change. We deal with the world very differently. That's what a Jnani does actually. So anyway, with this shloka, this section comes to an end where all the lakshanas are put together. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Vimukta Ekatvam Akantanandam Advayam Satyam Jnanam Anantam Yat Param Brahma Hameva Tat. That this sort of section gets over. Then artificially I created the next section 5, which is how do we do the Atma Vichara? How do you do this inquiry? So far we have understood some of the conceptual things, little bit of Mananam and all that has also happened. So we need some process. We need some ways by which we should start this journey. Some tips and some small little things are required. So that are there from shloka 37 to 46. That is what we are going to see now, section 5. What I have titled it as Atma Vichara, inquiry into the self. And after reading, I artificially created all these sections for our benefit. I may be right or wrong. I've just done it with my Alpa Buddhi. I have done it. Okay. So we will see a few shlokas from now on. which talks a little bit about the process and some nuances of stepping into this and getting a little bit of an experience and so on. We'll go to 37th shloka. Evam nirantarabhyasta brahmaivasmiti vasana harayatya vidya vikshepan rogani varasayanam. Evam, what evam? That manana, that previous 5 shlokas. Evam nirantara abhyasta, one who is doing that nirantara abhyasa, is doing mananam again and again on those concepts. Oh, I am not this, I am not this, I am like Akash, I am this, I am this. Doing it in the mind, in the brain. Put in Tamil they say you keep on rolling it here. Churn it. Constantly churn this. We don't have to know the meaning of it. We don't have to know at least now we have understood a little bit of meaning. Even if you don't have the meaning of it, you can churn it. It will, by Bhagavat Anugraha, the meaning will manifest after a while. Okay? So it says Nirantara Abhyastaha. And what is by that what happens? Aham Brahmasmi iti vasana. So slowly, because that's what they say, no? You tell anything 1,000 times, that becomes. So even lie you say 1,000 times, it becomes Brahma Satya, no? If that is the power of that, it will have a power for this also. So he says, Nirantara Brahmaivasmi iti vasana. Nirantara abhyasta. Evam Brahmaivasmi iti vasana. Nirantara abhyasta bhavati. Those who are in Nirantara abhyasa of this manana, slowly this sun will start rising. Okay? That, maybe I am the Brahman. With a lot of doubt, but slowly the Sanka will go recede a little bit. Because when sun rises, the darkness goes slowly. When the sun shines, there is no Andhakara. But until the sun fully shines, the Andhakara is also there, the light is also there. That is a very weird situation. The twilight zone, you see, you have both. Sun comes slowly now. Slowly comes. Once it is out of the horizon, Andhakara is completely gone. Right? So in the same way, Evam nirantara abhyastaha brahmaivasmi iti vasana harati avidya vikshepan. It destroys that avidya and the vikshepa sakti. The avarana shakti and vikshepa sakti is brought a snake out of a rope. You have to now remove that avarana shakti and vikshepa shakti, no? That will happen by this manana. Looks like that has that much magic power. Yeah? So, harati avidya vikshepan, out of avidya, all the adhyasta that is. What is this vikshepa? This is the superimposition. You throw this property into that. You threw all the kshetra's property into the kshetrajna. You threw all the, Vishaya's property into Vishayi. Vishayinoho. All the Yushpat Pratyaya, we put it into Asmat Pratyaya, Gochara. Right? That Vikshepa happened out of avidya. So, harati avidya vikshepan. Then Acharya again gives an example. He says, doctor gives you a medicine. As you keep taking the medicine, the roga will go. 99% it happens. Sometimes it may not happen. That is your prarabdha. But generally it happens. Medicine they are giving, last 4-5 years, whole of the world is doing only what is called Dolotsava. 650,000 strength Dola. Dolo. So Dolotsava, I call it as Dolotsava. You take the medicine, you go into the airport, better take a Dolo so that nobody detects your fever and you pass through. And then you go where you want to go. You may have corona or otherwise, that God knows. So Dolotsava. So he says, roganiva rasayanam. Just as rogi, a person who is afflicted with disease, by progressively taking medicine, slowly, apakaroti, rogasya apankaroti, duri karoti. So he gives that example. He says it is like that, that as you keep on taking medicine, sometimes, the antibodies, whatever, I mean, the medical part of the science part of it. But if you do that, so from manana, it says come to anusandhana. He's saying, now you do anusandhana. That's why nirantara abhyastam. What is anusandhanam? It is a repeated mananam is the anusandhana. They say nirantara abhyastaha, that word is being used. So in the last 4-5 shlokas, it is all about mananam. Now you say go into nididhyas, which is repeated mananam. This has to be done. Anusandhanam is being discussed. That's what it is saying. So if we keep on thinking we are the Jada Padartha, we will only be a Jada Padartha. If we keep on thinking we are the Brahma Padartha, we will become a Brahma Padartha. So choice is still, the free will is with us. Virochana thought that body is Brahman. So he'll be only body conscious, body centered forever and die. For 1,000 janmas, he'll be only body conscious. And L'Oreals and all of them will make fortune out of it. God bless them. Whereas somebody who has understood we have to go beyond the body consciousness, then but they know they have to maintain the body. Please don't mean they will do a udasina of the body. Because oham deham naham, that's okay. But body is not mine. That thought will come. Oh, I have to return it. I have to return it back carefully. So I will maintain it to the extent it has to be maintained. A jnani will never do the udasina of the body. An ajnani will overdo and then he will do the udasina of the Atman. Whereas a jnani will never do the udasina of the deha. The jnani knows deha is Prakriti's property. It is annam. It should go back. So as long as I keep it well, I will do, Chandrabhaya will give me some asanas, I will do the asanas. Or, Narayananji will tell us, shake your leg and something like that. I will understand the value of it. I will do it because I know I have to keep it well. And then we'll also know I have to keep my manas well. Then I'll go deep into all that I will do. Because I know there is no audasinya there. Jnani will never do audasinya of the deha. He knows the value of it. He knows to what value you should put it. He will maintain it. He will know it is a good companion for me, but I will not be completely dictated by that. That is the difference. I will not allow it to dictate me. I will allow it to coexist with me because I know there is a use, as you are saying, as there is a use for it. I will use it. I will not allow it to dictate. Manas will not. Indriyani paro manaha. Manasastu paro buddhi, buddhestu parasastu saha. I will give the ultimate control to the Atma. That feeling will come.
Many people do something for you. He said, no, I got it, I have to give it back. Don't worry. So it's like that.
So there is a shloka in Aparoksha Anubhuti. Says, Tivra Vegena Nischayatmana Uman Tad Bhavati Brahmara Kitavat. It's a very interesting example in Aparoksha Anubhuti. See what happens, this Brahmara, this wasp, wasp captures, or this, even this the spider, it catches an insect. Now Acharya gives in that Aparoksha Anubhuti, what he says is that Kita, that small worm or that thing, that all the time thinks I will become a wasp. Out of fear. It thinks all the time it becomes a wasp, it becomes a wasp. That's the example he gives. Brahmara Kitavate. The wasp captures this insect, the insect becomes a wasp. It also applies something, but then the wasp is, oh, I am caught, I will become a Brahmara, I become Brahmara, it becomes a Brahmara. Like that, he gives an example. Brahmara Kitavate. But then he gives a few adjectives here. It says Tivra Vegena, Tivrata, Nischayatmana, not an unwavering mind. Nischayatmana. You are the Chitta Ekagrata. That's the tapas, no? Chitta Ekagrata. Nischayatmana, Human Tad Bhavati. That person who was so ignorant, with Tivra Vega and Nischayatma Buddhi, he will become a Brahman. Brahmara Kitavat. Just like the Brahmara becomes a Kita, Kita becomes a Brahmara, in the same way it will happen like that. In Aproksha Anubhuti, there is an example which Acharya gives. That is what it is that he is talking about. Let's see if Padmapada Acharya has something. In between also, let me see what is going on there. Purvokta Shloka Mananam Chirakala Abhyastam Tat Purushartham Sadayati iti aha. You get that Purushartha by Manana of that for Chirakala. That's what this shloka is. Nirandara Abhyasta. That's what it is saying. Evam Uktam Brahmaivaham Asmiti Nairantaryena. Nirantarena. Nairantaryena means Nirantarataya. Nairantaryena Chirakala Abhyasta Vasana Avidya Krita Chitta Vikshepan Nisseshataha Nashayati. Spotless, without leaving any sesha, it removes that. Nashayati. Yata rasayanam aushadam chirakala sevitam sat rogan nisseshataho nashayati tadvit ityartaha. He says, just like this medicine, after some time when you take it, except for chronic diseases and blockbuster drugs, that is an exemption. Blockbuster drug, you know what is the definition of blockbuster drug? You should eat it till you die. That's why it's called a blockbuster drug. You can never stop it. So pharma companies are very interested in blockbuster drugs, which is a steady revenue stream for them. Yeah, chronic. Forever. You have to take forever. You can never stop it. That's called blockbuster drug. So that doesn't fit into this description. So that is different. Anyway, it's on a lighter vein, but
Facing all the other vasanas.
yeah, removing the other vasana.
This thought, one thought is replacing all.
That is what I said. When the gutter is blocked and it is smelling, simply keep pouring water. Yeah, even hot water, even better. Because that is the idea, no? If something is blocked and is giving smelling and all that, easiest thing is keep on pouring fresh water. If there is a smell, blow fresh air. When you blow fresh air, that's what the exhaust fan is doing, no? It is only taking it out and then bringing in fresh air. So this Nididhyasana, by bringing this fresh air, the Durgandha will go. You don't have to make effort for it. It will go. This becomes a majority. It pushes it out of the domain. You keep on pouring water, that blocked water will go. You will get fresh water coming. And, the smell goes. So that is what is happening. That is a simple idea. Huh?
That's a method. Yeah, it doesn't, and I probably feel that it reaches a stage where you recognize the conditioning before it is formed. Probably you don't-
Or you understand, no, the conditions remain. You understand the limitation of the conditioning and live with it. See, Jnani does not drop the upadhis. No, generate, that is if the karma, if all the generating new upadhis are function of the karmas. So if you can evaporate the karma, that will happen. Otherwise, Jnani is also several janmas, na? So you may continue, but at least you will not add fresh. So you will not have future contract for new construction. Future contracts are avoided now for new construction. So like that. 38th shloka. Viviktadesha asino Virago vichitendriyaha भावयेत् एकमात्मानं तमनन्तमनन्यधीः विविक्तदेशः आसीनः विविक्तदेशः आसीनः विरागः विजितेन्द्रियः भावयेत् एकम् आत्मानं तम् अनन्तम् अनन्यदीः. That is the padacheda. Particularly second line needs a proper padacheda. Bhavayet ekam atmanam tam anantam ananyadihi. Na anyadihi, ananyadihi. The buddhi is not going elsewhere. It is focused only on this. Now you have to do a focus. If you have to focus on a single thing, in Bhagavad Gita chapter 6, shloka 11 to 16, in 6 shlokas he has given. They are all coming here. Sri Krishna has given 6 shlokas. Meditation, the nursery lessons of meditation is available in just 6 shlokas. Yuktahara, it ends like that. Yuktahara viharasya, yukta karmasya cheshtasu, yukta swapna avabodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkhaha. That is the last shloka in that set of instruction. Samam kaya shiro grivam. In fact, that Dharayan Achalam, that is coming a little. Nashikagram swam. Swam is very important. You start seeing somebody else's nose. Nashika agram, then Krishna said swam, not his, not her tip of the nose. Look at your tip of the nose. Vaya said, look at the Brumadye. But he never said your own Brumadye. I started looking at somebody's. Krishna was absolutely tight on the instruction. I now understand what you. No, you can still open the eye, no, because you're asking me to see the Brumadye. You never said your Brumadye. Then I can take instruction. Oh, I have to see somebody's Brumadye and lighter vein. Anyway, so that instructions are there, right? There is the front. You put 3 layers. You have Kusha, then Ajina, Chaila Jana Kushottaraha. Natruchitam, Natrudicham. Don't sit at a very tip of the cliff. You will not do it in meditation. Blood pressure will only go to the peak. In a hanging cliff, don't go to the tip of the cliff and say, now I am going to do. Or don't go into Patala. You will die of suffocation. So, what it is saying is that if you want to have a single pointed focus, there are certain ambiences which are very useful. One of this, Vivekta Desh. In fact, there's 20 values you will find it. It comes much later, you see. Vivekta Deshi Lagvashi. Right? 13th chapter, Shloka 7 to 11. In 4 shlokas, 20 values are there. Amanitvam, she was narrating, Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Kshanti, Rajavam, Sairyam, Acharyopasanam, Stairyam, Atma Vinigraha, Ahimsa. All those 9 values are in the first. In the 3rd shloka only, you say Vivekta Deshi. Aratihi Jana Samsriti. Rati is attraction. Arati is no attraction. Where? Jana Samsriti. Ekaki Bhava, Ekaki Yata Chittatma. That is what is coming in that portion where Sundarbai was pointing to, chapter 6. So, Vivikta Desha Asinaha. Seclude. Slowly that feeling will come. We will actually like, you don't be lonely, be alone. Alone is not equal to lonely. Lonely means the mind is depressed. I am lonely. If somebody says I am lonely, that means mind is depressed. You say I am alone, that means I have a very positive mind. I am alone. Nobody else is there. These 2 words are very different. Lonely is negative. Alone is positive. Vivikta Desha Asinaha.
Vivikta Desha means secluded.
Solitary, secluded. Vivikta Deshasinaha Viragaha. You keep your aversions. Try to step out of aversions. Viragaha. Vijitendri. Visishtena Jitendriyaha. You have conquered your senses. Otherwise, what happens, is you close your eyes and sit. Medu vada smell comes. Get up and go. Have one medu vada. It's punching, beautiful smell here. I don't feel like sitting here. I want to go and have one vada. Then you are not a Jitendriya. Or you sit here, close your eyes. There is a nice song going in the TV. So you feel like humming. After that, you feel like turning your head and seeing. Then your thoughts go elsewhere. Finished. The mind will find a way to escape. There are these 5 holes through which the mind will try to escape into the outside world. Jitendriya will say, and the holes are there, but I will make sure that, in IAM, what we do, we say that after 30 seconds, nobody can enter into your classroom. And some of us are very strict about it. In fact, there was one IAS program. We do IAS program. The person who demolished, that Joseph, who demolished H.L. Bhagat's house, he is known for demolishing all top IAS, minister's house, politician's house. He was very good. He attended that program and we had a very good session with him. We asked him, tell how did you go about and all that. It was very nice. But then these IAS officers, they are very powerful in their own ways. So I tell them, you can't come into my classroom, sorry. 2 o'clock class, up to 2:05 you can come. After that, you cannot come. Sir, I have a lot of respect for you, but that will not spill in here. With folded hands, I will respect you, but I will not allow you. I very bluntly say that. I say with folded hands, I will respect you. Nobody can walk into my classroom after 2:05. I say a fly cannot enter into my classroom. So I never leave my classroom closed. I keep it open. Nobody dare comes in. So like that, this Vivikta Deshi, the Viraga Jitendriya, the 5 holes are there, but nothing will slip out of it. You don't have to close the holes. That is a forceful way of, Indriya Nigraha. That may be the starting part. After some time, you don't have to do all that. It will not escape. That is the Vijitendrityatva.
You get supplemented.
It doesn't find a reason to escape like that. It stays with you. But for that, initially you may have to close the door for a month or for 6 months. That is Indriya Nigraha, you try. To be in Upavasa, you know what Indriya Nigraha is. Stop eating and then you understand how much control we have. And after some time, you find that control. You don't have to now worry. Food is one item you can take away from your life. I'm seriously telling you. If you know how to do Upavas very seriously, the last thing you'll worry about is food. Food is there, I'll eat. Food is not there, it's okay. I'll have 2 cashew nuts with me, I'll eat and go. Nothing happens. My thing happens as I should. And we have 1,000 things like that to tick. If you can tick all of them, we have become liberated. These are the upadhis which are conditioning us. Right? So, Vijitendriyaha Bhavayet Ekam Atmanam Tam Ananyadihi. Your D is not going elsewhere. The D is focused. So it is like a meditation. He is giving lessons of meditation here in which you focus on him. You can take lessons from Yoga Acharya. You can take lessons from Bhagavad Gita. That's what he is saying here. So you have to bring yourself to you. Gather yourself rather than allowing you to spill over and go all over the place. Gather it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. That is an inevitable process. And doing that, do the mananam. Then like Rasayana, and it will, like the fresh air removing the dirty air, it will slowly, it will do it. Do this. So that's what he's saying here. That to put yourself.
Meditation is given importance in Vedanta.
Okay. Very much, sir. This is a shloka exactly saying that, no, in any case, unless you are able to gather yourself, nothing is possible. It is an enabling provision.
After gaining a knowledge of this kind of subjects, one should long go for meditation.
One should parallelly develop that. This is a skill we are talking. And that is the agenda for us. This is a skill we have to imbibe. Once you develop this skill, we were able to focus that attention on that Paramatma Tattva. It is a skill that we need to develop, no? That doesn't come by mere knowledge
Yes.
like that. You can read about driving a car for 1,000 pages, but you have to develop a little skill of driving the car.
But it should be learned from a teacher or and developer.
No, you can develop on your own. It will take a long time. If you go to a teacher, it gets fastened up. No, I see, some people line. I'll give you an example, then you understand. Automobile garage. In automobile garage, I have seen this boy comes for work at the age of 4. This fellow will have a spanner with him. He'll keep on hit him and teach him. He comes from the roots. He learns on his own, seeing what his boss is doing. Imagine you put that boy in a diploma in automobile engineering and bring him. Quickly he would have learned, he would have done a better job, no? It's like that. You can learn by the practice. That may take a longer time. And you may not get the nuances correctly also. It's a long time to sort out things. You can start operating this machine without an operation manual. Sometimes what happens is you are using it for the wrong purpose. You may use it for actually hitting a nail. You think it's a solid piece, so why can't I use it? There may be a dent. Then you'll get somebody and ask them to take the dent because you don't know what to do with this. Right? There was, in Africa, what they did was there was an abandoned aircraft. They pulled the aircraft, used the aircraft, tore the front port of it and tied it to a camel. They were using it for carrying items from one place to another in Africa. Because they learned the hard way. They didn't know it can be put to a much better use. So that kind of a thing can happen. 39th shloka. Atman yeva kilam drishyam pravilapya diya sudhihi bhavayet ekamatmanam Nirmalakashavat Atmani eva akilam drishyam pravilapya diya sudhihi bhavayet ekam atmanam nirmala akashavat sada. That is the padacheda here. Yeah. Atmani eva akilam drishyam pravilapya. There is a very nice mantra. I remember that mantra when we saw this particular shloka. It says, there is a mantra in Bodha Upanishad, it says, Tasmin drishte paravare. When this jnani gets that vision, you know what happens? It says, Vidyate hritaya grantihi. Chidyante asya samshayaha. Chiyante asya chakarmani. Tasmin drishte paravare. So, the importance of developing that vision. Once that vision is developed and you are staying in that anubhava, vidyate hridaya grantihi. This chit jada granthi. You know what we are? It's a complex knot of this chit and jada. What is the jada? Jada is the part 2. Sarira traya, all that came out of the upadhi, no? That is the jada padartha. Indriyas are jada. Buddhi is jada. Chitta is jada. Deha is jada. All these are jada. The Atman is the chit. So the Upanishad tells it in a different way. See, they are telling it in different ways. So there is something called chit jada granthi. This chit and jada is tied with a very complex 100-kilometer knot thread. See what happens. I mean, it happens to me all the time. You know what I do is I go to a shop, hardware shop. I ask them for that thread, the channel, that coil, that thread, because, nobody gives me, when I need tie, I don't find it. That fellow gives in kilograms. I buy half a kilo. You ask, you tell. I buy half a kilo. That is a Chijjada Granthi actually. By the time I bring home, it is in bad shape. I take an hour to untangle it. So huge work I do, but I faithfully do it and then take a thread, take a stick and then roll it on it. Only then it becomes useful for me. Otherwise, on the day I use it, it is a Chijjada Granthi kind of a thing. It's a deep knot. People do Upakarma. They give three sets of three. There is a Chijjada Granthi there. People mess it up and then keep a bundle of thread. So the pandit comes and slowly and removes it and gives it to him. He doesn't know how to handle it. So this Deha and the Atma is tied seamlessly with a complex thread. So that is called Chit Jada Granthi. So Tasmin Dishte Pravare Vidyate Hridaya Granthi. The Granthi gets unknotted. Everything is removed. That complex thread is unknotted so that it separates. It takes that kind of a perspective. The idea is the same. Every Upanishad, every Grantha is coming from a different direction. So that is the value of the Drishya. So that is what he is saying here in this particular thing. He says, Atmani eva akilam drishyam pravilapya. You develop that vision that the whole world is here only. How do you do it? Diyaha, you have to use only your buddhi. See, that is the bootstrapping technique here. You have to use the eraser and keep on erasing. After it is erased, the eraser must also go. So use the buddhi to bootstrap. After the jnani has actually found it out using the help of all these, they are not required anymore. They will do what it is done. He will not even need it. He will not engage with that. It will do. Guna gunesh vartante iti matva na sajjayan. Or that shloka that you said, that will come now. The apparatus will be no use for me now. But the apparatus, there is a prakriti dharma, it will do. Because there is a body, there is a bubuksha, it will eat. Because it was eating food, it will do the excretion. Everything will happen. The Upadhi Dharma, as long as the Upadhi is there, the Upadhi Dharma will happen. That perspective will come to the Jnani. That's what great Jnanis are. They just do. That's why, there is one Swamiji, I heard somewhere near Palghat, I don't remember where it was. You know what that Swamiji do? He eats once a day. And what is the Paddhati? They give all the food, he mixes all of them and makes. Many Swamijis are like that now. Because they want to emphasize, I am beyond all these. Nothing. Because that is Upadhi Dharma. It requires it requires the fuel to burn now. That is how Jnani works. He will mix everything and one lump he will have once a day. That means he is not having it for him. That notion that I am eating, I enjoy food and all gone. But Jnani knows, as long as the Upadhi is that, there is Upadhi Dharma. That has to happen. So feed some fuel for it. And because some fuel is fed for it, it has energy, it will expand energy by way of, he will distance himself and see it looks like. So he will be in both that's avastha, but with a vision of ekatva. The vision is there, but these vyavaharas will keep happening in a very disinterested fashion, so to say. Udasina vadasina. That is the answer he gives in 14th chapter. Now this shloka is coming to me. How will the Gunadita will be like that? Krishna says Udasina vad asina. Udasina vadasino. That's how that shloka starts now in 14th chapter. 21st shloka, 22nd shloka. That's what it is. So he will show, the Jnani will show a sense of indifference, but the Jnani will allow everything to happen because that is part of the Upadhi Dharma. So when something gets hurt, Jnani will also go through the pain because that is part of Upadhi Dharma, but he will not have suffering. That part will go. Oh, it has to happen, it will happen. That's what, Ramana Maharishi said, no anesthesia and all that. You want to do some for the body, you do. I am not the body. Do whatever you want to do. As Upadhi Dharma, it has to be fixed, you fix it. No anesthesia. Nothing. Because we are giving anesthesia because we can't handle it. Therefore, he said, no, just do what you need to do.
So incident happened from Siddhartha Maharaj, from Shivanand's lineage, from Divine Life Society. He infected his eye. So there was one of the devotees doctor in Chennai. Said, sir, I need to operate it. He says, okay, you fix up, I'll come. The day of operation was fixed. Now he said, I have to give you anesthesia. I said, what for? And he did the operation without anesthesia. And then when the doctor completed, his devotee completed the operation, sir, it wasn't painful. He was Chidanand not there. Chidanand is not there, who will feel the pain?
Just look at it. No, since you said it, sir, since you said it, I was invited for his centenary. So Divine Life Society, 4 days. The Raja of Puri, he made 52 trips to Orissa. So he has the largest followers in Orissa. He is 1 year senior. He and Swami Chinmayananda got Sannyasa Diksha same day from Swami Shivananda. Same day. Okay, he was 1 year younger to Swami Chinmayananda. So when I was Vice since you said this came to my mind. He went to Orissa 52 times in his life. And so 10,000 people attended that. Sir, 3 hours for serving food. So we'll close the session at 11 o'clock and start the session at 3 o'clock because 10,000 people have to be fed lunch. It was going on like that. The Raja of Puri, he was throughout for all the 4 days sitting and kind of a thing. They gave me a book. I have 2 books with me, sir. They gave me a book that Chidananda was a boy studying in Saint Xavier's in Mangalore. So they gave me a book. The book was only photos, 100 pages book. Just turning this book. As I was turning this book, I saw how the boy became the Chidananda that you spoke, who said, you operate on my mere picture communicated his evolution.
So they used to have food like this in a small something. For lunch, food is small. We made 3 vegetables or give me the
That's what a jnani is. That is how jnani's vyavahara becomes. They don't run away from anything, but their perspective of what they are doing as they live and what is Upadhi Dharma, what Upadhi has to happen, they have a clear sense of understanding of all these. They don't even tell it outside. That's why he said a great cook never tells I am a great cook. But by seeing what he is doing, you understand he is a great cook. In the same way, these examples show that their understanding is different. By the way they deal with things in the world. That's why it is a great blessing to visit acharyas and stay near to them for some time. By merely observing them. Right? Drishti Diksha is all that we need. We have to just go and spend, it's a good practice to go and spend a few days every 6 months or a year, time permits a little bit more, with a great acharya, just observe, because that speaks volumes. That is what a jnani does. Jnani shows what he does by doing, not by saying. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa in one of his parable, he says, this honeybee will keep on making noise only until it sits in a flower. After that, it is silence because it is now consuming the honey. So in the same way, once the jnani gets the jnana champadana, it's all silence. The whole paddhati, the vyavahara, the drishti, everything changes. So that is what really happens. So here he says, Atmani eva akilam drishyam pravilapya diyaha sudihi. He uses his own buddhi to get that, and finally the buddhi is not required anymore. The eraser has erased everything, the eraser also goes now. Not required. Kataka Renuvat, we saw that shloka. You can use that. The detergent, that soap nut powder is required to cleaning. After that, the powder, it is the powder which cleaned. But we don't need the powder anymore because it has already become clean. Like that. Okay? Bhavayed ekam atmanam Nirmala Akashavat, that Akasha shloka that we saw, he understands I am that Nirmala Akasha. So all the attributes of Akasha, I did the Mananam, I do the Nididhyasana. So that idea comes to me very nicely in my mind. I think we will stop here. We have one stretch, we have gone about more than 2 hours. Because that's the idea you give. Sir, you do it on stretch, sir, you do the Sadhana Panchakam post lunch. I thought that was not a bad idea. So I just went on and on. It's 1 o'clock. We will stop here. So today we'll stop the Atma Bodha with this 39th shloka. We will stop here.
3:30. 3:30 to 4:30 we can do.
Yeah, we'll meet at 3:30.
4:30 we can go to the Goshala.
Goshala.
It's just nearby, a couple of 100 meters far away. There are 150 cows and all.
Oh, very nice.
Some of
We'll have a Gomata Darshan.
And we have, from the group, we have arranged 10 kilo. Good. So we all will be distributing the cows and. we
Very
have
nice,
about-
sir. Sir, I want to tell you, in our Sanatana Dharma, Go is called Mata. Go Mata. You know why? Sir, if I give blood donation, the hospitals, they call me, blood banks call me, you give just 1 bottle of blood once in your lifetime, sir, maybe 2 times in your lifetime. And they give you Horlicks, they take care of you, they feel. Gomata is doing blood donation to you every day. What is milk? Gomata is giving her blood to us. You have to remember like that. That's why she is Mata. And that's why I am very wary of wasting milk. We should not. We should use milk with utmost care because we are using Gomata's blood actually. So it is always a pleasure to have darshan of Gomata and say thank you. Only because of particularly for pure vegetarians, please understand, for pure vegetarians, the only source of vitamin B12 is from curd and milk. Because you don't take fish, don't take any other thing. Only source of vitamin B12. Without vitamin B12, you don't get vitamin D. If you don't get vitamin D, you don't get your calcium. It's a very complex route. B12 is so important, Gomata gives us. So we are very thankful, sir, for this idea. I think we must go and have darshan of the Gomata.
Giving, gathering.
Very nice.
Just about here, you will go for the left side.
I have always, we both, myself and Sujata, we always think, and she is very strong on it, that we must, as our Naimitika Karya, we must either do Go Samraksham or Go Danam or both. That's why in all our rituals, Go Danam was one of them. Vaikari Godana, when the soul goes also, when the Atma goes also, Vaikari Godana, because cow is very, very important for us. She takes care of everything of every one of us for everything. With every produce that she gives to us, including her waste, we are benefiting. So I think Go Samrakshanam is very important. We will do that. Thank you.